being together so heavenly. From the day we met, oh, now I see. Oh, I never knew what love could be.
Call me crazy, call me insane, to have a love like this every day. I knew you were meant for me. Oh, I never knew how love would be. Oh, I never knew how love would be. Call me crazy, call me insane, to have a love like this every day. I knew you were meant for me. Oh, we never knew how love would be. Yes, we know how love could be. Now we know how love should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Are you ready? It's showtime. Please welcome Tim Kelly.
I shot my first whitetail when I was only 5 years old, in a hunting shack with my daddy, in a swamp off an old back road. Dad let me think that I really helped drag that deer to the truck. I got home and ran through the front door yelling, "Mama, I shot a buck." And I was hooked on the feeling of a hunt out in the field, hooked on an afternoon in a boat with a rod and reel. It's a feeling you can't get on the TV or in a book. The first taste of the outdoors, and I was hooked. I can still remember the feeling of that smallmouth on the line. It felt like a great white shark. I was reeling for my life. Now when I grab a fishing pole, I'm reminded of that day. I feel like a kid again. Oh yeah, I gotta say, I'm still hooked on the feeling of a hunt out in the field, hooked on an afternoon in a boat with a rod and reel. It's a feeling you can't get on the TV or in a book. There ain't no doubt about it, I'm still hooked. in the field, hooked on an afternoon in a boat with a rod and reel. It's a feeling you can't get on the TV or in a book. Oh, ain't no doubt about it, I'm still hooked. Oh, ain't no doubt about it, I'm still hooked.
There you go. What a way to start the show. That is Jeff Stauffer and a brand new single called Hooked. And before that, new music from Kat and Val, or Rick and Val, rather. They said I should play their new music called Never Knew Love. So there you go. I did it. And by golly, they were right. I should play that. Welcome to Today's Country with yours truly, Tim Kelly, hosting the show. KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com is on the air. Thursdays and Friday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time from the live entertainment capital of the world in Branson, Missouri. And we've got some great live entertainment for you tonight. New Music Friday, the best in new country music. You're going to hear many songs for the very first time because I haven't ever played them before. And then you're going to hear a couple of great radio interviews tonight as well. At the bottom of half of this hour, my good friend Mr. Jason Black is going to be with us in hour number 1. Then in the bottom half of hour number 2, Chad Bushnell is going to join the program. And boy, do they have some good music. We'll play 2 or 3 of their songs, and we'll also get to hear the stories behind them. That's why I love doing the radio interviews. Let's give a big shout out to the folks that put us out on radio. They are great radio stations like KUHS Denver at KUHSdenver.com, Country Road 58 from Germany, countryradio.musicbox4friends.com from Belgium, devilscountryradio.com, radiotheking.be, also from Belgium, WVMIradio.com, realradio.us, downtheroadradio.com from Ireland, countrymusicexpress.co.uk, Bourbon Trail Radio, thechimpfm.com from Canada, countrythunder.com.au from Australia, WFPNradio.org, bigrecords.world and /radio to find us on their website. And we are also on Top Shelf Radio Texas and RadicalOnlineRadio.com. Thank you all for replaying this program and helping us spread this new country around the world. Making his radio debut for the very first time tonight, his name is Cody Loden. It is Lohden. It is called Getting Gone on Today's Country from KICR Indie Country Radio. You can also check out the video to this one on ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. New Music Friday is on the air.
Truck's loaded up, sun's going down, headed south of this one-horse town. I've got a backseat full of bittersweet memories and I'm drowning out. I'm moving on, girl. You should have known, girl, that I'd be leaving if you kept treating me wrong, girl. I've got a Yeti loaded up but heavy in the bed of my Chevy, and it's safe to say I'm halfway there. Wheels rolling on a tank of half empty. Only thing I got in me is a couple cans. If I don't care, no, I'm better off on my own, like that old school gentle song. Girl, I'm getting gone. You're always bitching about that grizzly in my mouth, and always going out on weekends sipping whiskey down. I've had enough, baby, I know you're gonna hate me, but it's too late 'cause I ain't changing my mind. I've got a Yeti loaded up but heavy in the bed of my Chevy, and it's safe to say I'm halfway there. Wheels rolling on a tank of half empty. Only thing I got in me is a couple cans. If I don't care, no, I'm better off on my own, like that old school gentle song. Girl, I'm getting gone, like a freight train. I'm getting gone, gone like it's a day. Gone, gone, gone.
today's newest country music, Indie Country Radio, with Tim Kelly.
Radio on some roof down, hidden highways, no turning round, cross borders and follow signs. You and I, let's drive. Tired of daily routine conversations, daydreaming about destinations. We should find it for ourselves. Fill up the tank, let's just go. Turn left, right down past the coast. I don't wanna go with no one else. You and I, let's drive. One hand on the wheel, the other in mine. Radio on, sunroof down, hidden highways, no turning round. Cross borders and follow signs. You and I, let's drive. Suitcase or two in the back, and your red shirt, my feet on the dash. We're chasing memories. Oh, watch sunset on the car, next neon lights, a few bars. Guess the rest is history. If you and I, let's drive. Don't need to wait for the green light. Radio on, sunroof down, hidden highways, no turning round. Cross borders and follow signs. You and I, let's drive, let's just, let's drive, let's just, let's drive, let's just, you and I. Let's just, let's drive, let's just, let's drive, let's just, you and I. I got 1,000 reasons. You're the first reason. Leave our life behind. Too young to waste time. I got 1,000 reasons. You're the first reason why we should drive. You and I. Radio on, sunroof down, hidden highways, no turning around. Cross borders and follow signs. You and I, breaking rules, we're so carefree. All that matters is you're next to me. We'll cross borders and follow signs. You and I should drive. Let's just, let's drive. Let's just, let's drive. Let's just, you and I. Let's just, let's drive. Let's just, let's drive. Let's just, you and I. Yeah, you and I.
Making her radio debut tonight on New Music Friday and KICR Indie Country Radio. Her name is Ella Powell, and that is called Drive. You can check out the video to that one on our TV channel, ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. That's right, when we're not on the radio, we've got a TV channel. I call it CMT for the Indies, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can check it out, IndieCountryTelevision.com. This next artist has a great song right here, a hit song on his hands. His name is Anderson Gore. This is called Last Name on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, playing new country's best on New Music Friday.
Good Lord, girl, I ain't lying. You're the prettiest thing I ever did see. Tough luck, but I'll keep trying to get you right here next to me. And if you stick around, I can take you down to the river, show you stars you ain't ever seen. If we do it right, we'll stay up all night and watch the sun rise through the trees. You can call me crazy, girl, but I think I'm in love with you. There ain't no maybes, I know everything I feel is true. I ain't got much to give you, but if it's all the same, if you want it, you can take my your hand, I never thought I'd fall so hard. I thought I swung and missed, but a love-drunk kiss said it all in the back of your car. And like a sip of wine, you had me feeling fine. I was trying not to rush, just let it be, but you didn't care. Hands in my hair, all the things you do to me. You can call me crazy, girl, but I think I'm in love with you. There ain't no maybes, I know everything I feel is true. I ain't got much to give you, but if it's all the same, if you want it, you can take my last name. You can call me crazy, girl, but I think I'm in love with you. There ain't no maybes, I know everything I feel is true. I ain't got much to give you, but if it's all the same, if you want it, if you want it, if you want it, you can take my last name. Take my last name.
You're listening to New Music Friday on KICR Indie Country Radio.
Well, I just walked a mile in your shoes, Grandpa, when my feet are aching and I think I'm gonna fall. I heard you tell my daddy to walk a mile in your shoes, and maybe he might understand why you do the things that you do. So I slipped on your cowboy boots and your old faded hat. I passed the old schoolyard and I walked back. Now I think I understand why you do the things you do. Yes, Grandpa, when you walk a mile, I bet your feet hurt too. That was 20 years ago, it's amazing how time flies. Looking back on memories through a child's eyes. Lessons learned, lessons taught, sometimes by Grandpa's hand. Daddy says that Grandpa's brand of love is the brand of love that'll shape a fine old man. Now I've got 4 children of my own, Grandpa. Every night I kneel and pray, God with them all. They ask about my childhood days, about my dad and the games we played. They love their grandpa just like I love mine. That was 20 years ago, it's amazing how time flies. Looking back on memories through a child's eyes. Lessons learned, lessons taught, sometimes by Grandpa's hand. Daddy says that Grandpa's brand of love is the brand of love that'll shape a fine old man. That was 20 years ago, it's amazing how time flies. Looking back on memories through a child's eyes. Lessons learned, lessons taught, sometimes by Grandpa's hand. Daddy says that Grandpa's brand of love is the brand of love that'll shape a fine old man.
Daddy says that Grandpa's brand of love is the brand of love that'll shape a fine old man. That was 20 years ago. It's amazing how time flies, looking back on memories through a child's eyes. Lessons learned, lessons taught, sometimes by Grandpa's hand. Daddy says that Grandpa's brand of love is the brand of love that'll shape a fine old man.
Making their radio debut tonight on KICR Indie Country Radio, they are the Patina Soul Project. Patina Soul Project, that is called Grandpa's Song, and Michael Lusk is the lead singer on that one. He's a great demo singer out of Nashville, Tennessee, and a great all-around guy. I have had a great interview with him in the past on this program, and that is a hit song right there. Mark Green wrote it, and we've been talking back and forth all day today, and I told him I'd play the song, give him a shout-out. Good job on that one, Mark, and we'll keep playing that one here on New Music Friday. The next song is called Different Kind of Rain. This time of year, you do get a different kind of rain. Sometimes we call it snow, but that's the title of the song. The artist is Amanda K. Ferris on today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on New Music Friday.
There's lipstick on my pillow. I'm in the same dress from last night. I'm lonely like a widow, 'cause part of me has died. Your memory shots I'm pounding, I'm still drowning in a heartbreak hurricane. The sea of whiskey, Jack and Jim Beam almost wash you away. And it's so hard to just forget you when so much of you still stays. Every day I try to flood your memory with a different kind of rain. Every day is the same old battle. Every drink's a brand new storm. This house is cold without you, but the liquor keeps me warm. Your memory is killing me. The shots I'm pounding, I'm still drowning in a heartbreak hurricane. The sea of whiskey, Jack and Jim Beam almost wash you away. And it's so hard to just forget you when so much of you still stays. Every day I try to flood your memory with a different kind of rain. I black out till things look brighter. Call reality a liar. The shots I'm pounding, I'm still drowning in a heartbreak hurricane. The sea of whiskey, Jack and Jim Beam almost wash you away. And it's so hard to just forget you when so much of you still stays. Every
new country.
Like we know new country.
Indie Country Radio, new country's best.
Flashing lights and neon signs are calling my name. Roughneck bars and honky tonks draw me like a moth to the flame. Just me and my old guitar playing songs, setting fire to this stage. Doing double shots of whiskey, I got the crowd singing with me. I'm pretty sure I ain't done it this way. I'm just a singer of songs of the life that I live. I have fans and haters just the same. I guess it is what it is. I've been climbing that mountain, let me tell you, it's been a long, hard ride. I'm still chasing that neon dream, cruising down I-65. Everybody keeps saying go to Nashville and shoot for the stars. I've been shot down a few times, just another guy strumming on his guitar. But I have something to say, so listen up, just this much I know. On fighting for these songs that I'm around till I hear them on the radio. I'm just a singer of songs of the life that I live. I have fans and haters just the same. I guess it is what it is.
From my good friend Mr. Dan Wallace out of the state of Ohio, and I-65 goes right up and down, and I believe through Nashville, but we also have a Highway 65 that goes through Branson, Missouri, and we talked about that a few weeks ago in a great radio interview. Check out Dan Wallace. His music is fantastic. Well, this gentleman that I have on the phone right now has some fantastic music, and we're going to play 3 of his tonight. So Mr. Jason Black has joined us on the program. How are you, my friend?
Oh, doing great, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. We were talking about off the air. I don't know how you found me, but I'm sure glad you did. I've been playing 2 of your songs like crazy because they're fantastic, but we've got a third one that you just came out with and sent it to me just the other day, and we're getting ready to bust it loose tonight too. So good stuff, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. You've been in the music business a little while. You're not new to that, but you're just now getting yourself out there. So we're definitely all about helping artists get airplay on the radio, and your music is fantastic. But kind of tell us how you got your start. Now, you grew up in Texarkana, Texas, and I get a lot of music from the Texas artists. Texas and Canada is the 2 biggest places I get music from, I think. But tell us kind of how you got started, because there's some good roots in country music in Texas for sure.
Yeah, grew up in Texarkana. Was there all of my life. Never left till I came to Nashville, but started writing music. Gosh, I think my parents still have it hanging above the piano at their house. But wrote my first song when I think I was 6 or 7 years old, and been writing music ever since. Kind of grew up doing the Opry circuit, there in Northeast Texas, Southwest Arkansas. Been to a lot of places there. And then you grow up, you get a job, you kind of do life. Moved to Nashville area, gosh, 10, 11 years ago. I've continued to write, but, never really gotten out there as an artist, and finally just decided, hey, got some, what I think are great songs, want people to hear. So I'll just, record them and throw them out into the world myself. And we'll see where this goes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you where it's going to go. You're going to do quite well on country radio. Now, I don't know that you even consider yourself a country music artist, but your songs are going to do great on country radio. They're different, and you don't sound like anybody else out there, and that's what it takes to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah, well, no, I appreciate it, and so it's kind of country artist. I write what the thing I love about country music. It's what I grew up with. It's what I listen to. Country music allows you to tell stories in a way that no other genre of music does. I don't sound as country as some people, when I sing. But it's what the songs, it's the stories they tell, kind of the emotions they create, and you kind of build the music around it, and it's what I really resonates with me.
Oh, I agree, and totally agree. I call it the stories behind the songs every time I post to Facebook. You're going to love their music, I say, and the stories behind the songs when I get to do these interviews. That's what I'm interested in, because I told you before we got on the air, I get a lot of music from a lot of folks, and I don't really know the stories until I book these interviews, and I'll listen to the song, and I can hear some great lyrics, and I can kind of get an idea of the story behind it, but, until I really interview the artist, I don't know that was personally about their wife or a relative that passed away or something like that. You hear all of those kind of different stories when you do these interviews, and that's what I love about country music, and you're right, it does tell some of the best stories out there.
Yep, absolutely.
Your country music background, as far as artists that you listened to, maybe when you were growing up, or somebody that your folks listened to that made you kind of want to do something similar in country music like those artists. Who were some of those names maybe you listened to?
Oh gosh, so going back to my folks, they're big Southern gospel fans. So I grew up listening to a lot of the Gaither vocal band, and all of those folks. But country music artists have always been a huge Garth Brooks fan. Reba McEntire, kind of that whole '90s country. Was just the songs were just absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And going back to the stories they told. So just really have always kind of fallen in love with that era of country music, and really that era of songwriting. The way those songs were crafted. I think a little bit of that is coming back now with some artists, which is great to see, great to hear. But that's really kind of where I cut my teeth on country music, so to speak.
Can you believe that's almost been 30 years ago? 90s.
No,
90s.
I cannot. So,
isn't that something? To have that long of a career in the world of country music, and Reba McEntire is still doing it. I know I've got friends in Nashville that just went and saw her in a concert just recently. And I'll tell you my first concert, and you can tell me yours if you can remember, but my first concert was in Oklahoma. I lived down there for 20 years around Ada, where Blake Shelton's from. And Wade Hayes and David Ball opened for Tracy Lawrence at the Hardy Murphy Coliseum in Ardmore, Oklahoma. And that was the first concert I went to, and boy, Tracy Lawrence and that 90s country got me.
Yeah, so first concert. So this is actually a two-part answer. So the first concert that I technically went to where I was a tag along because there was no babysitter. was a New Kids on the Block concert for my older sister's 13th birthday party. But I don't count that one. So the first concert that I went to of my own accord was a Garth Brooks concert at the Hearst Coliseum in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yep.
And of course, that's back when he was big time touring. But yeah, that was the first one, and it's just absolutely mesmerizing.
Wow. I remember New Kids on the Block, and that's telling our age too. They have since changed. They have since changed the name of that band. Are you aware of that? They're now called Old Men Around the Corner.
Yeah, that's appropriate. Yeah, that's great.
That's how long ago that's been. But yeah, and I was into the '80s music growing up, and that's when I really wanted to get into radio. It was Fleetwood Mac and Chicago, REO Speedwagon, all of those, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. That's the stuff, Madonna, the stuff that I was playing on the radio when I was getting into it. But I married a girl from Oklahoma, and when Garth and Toby Keith and Vince Gill and all those Oklahoma boys and Blake Shelton too started doing their thing in country music, that made me want to check out country radio and the stories behind those songs. Man, it just got to me, and that's where I'm at right now. That's why I want to do country radio.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It sure is. Now, down in Texas, I know there's a lot of big venues to play at and stuff like that, but you've been in Nashville now in about the last 11 years, and I was telling you off the air that I haven't been there in 4 years now, and you said in just the last 4 years it'd probably be like night and day for us going back. So we need to get to Nashville, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have. If you haven't been to Nashville in the last 4 years, it's a different town. Yeah. Some good, some bad, but it's been a transformative half a decade here. It looks nothing like what it did, when I moved here, 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about one particular venue that we've been to several times is the Wild Horse Saloon. I love that place, and we've been to several Nashville Universe Awards, and the pandemic kind of took it out in 2020, yep. So hopefully they're going to have another one pretty soon. They do them usually every couple of years. But it was a pleasure to receive a couple of awards from Stormy Warren from Sirius XM The Highway, and I really did not know who that gentleman was until we spent that night, in receiving those awards, and I did a little bit of research on him, and he was a great friend of Charlie Daniels. Charlie Daniels told him he needed to come to Nashville because he used to work for CNN, and he was doing interviews for CNN News then. But he said, man, you need to do something in country music. You're such a great interviewer. And so hopefully that's who I kind of pattern myself after, Stormy Warren. I love his sound and just the way he deals with the artist and does his interviews. I love it all. So he's a really good guy.
Awesome.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, your song's going to be all over the radio, too. We're going to put you out on 15 stations tonight as we do this live show, but everything's recorded, so you're going to play all week long on 15 other stations, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. We're in Ireland and Australia and Canada and all over the place.
That's great, Tim. Very, very much appreciated, and I know other artists, really appreciate the exposure, the opportunity just to get music out there and be able to get it heard. It's
absolutely.
It's a really great thing what you're doing.
We appreciate doing it. And one thing I do want to talk about, though, because most of the artists that we play on this program do write their own material, and we were talking about that a little bit before we got on the air tonight, and that's something that you wanted to talk about in the interview is songwriting, and that is a super unique talent that I don't have. And I'm always amazed by the different songs that you guys put together and titles and everything, to, again, stand out different from everybody else because, it's got to be that way to really hit the top of the charts. So,
Sure.
Tell us about that process for you and what it's like.
Yeah, so, different writers, everybody kind of has their own approach. Some are a lot more methodical than others. For me, it's kind of random. So, I don't get to write songs for a living. So, I kind of have to find my pockets. But for me, it really kind of starts most of the time with at the beginning, like you kind of get an idea, a phrase, and it just kind of takes off. Some of the songs that that were going to hear tonight. Two of them I wrote by myself. So, and then one of them was a co-write. I don't get to do a lot of co-writing just because of my schedule. But for me, it just kind of always starts. Interestingly enough, it's almost always for me a verse and a chorus in a very, very, very short period of time. Sit down at the piano, grab a guitar, and just kind of play out a verse and a chorus. And in the process of finishing that song, kind of figuring out where the story's going. Sometimes that can carry on for some time. But it really, for me, always kind of starts with first chorus, really, relatively, quickly. It's just kind of an idea. But I think one of the big things that as a songwriter, you have to be able to do is, be able to kind of take what you're, personally feeling, what, personally going through, whatever might be bringing you to write that song, and being able to step back and say, hey, how do I distill this, or how do I form this idea in a way that's going to resonate with different people in different situations? Because you can write a song that's so specific it means the world to you, but it's so specific it doesn't necessarily resonate with anybody else. And those songs you keep to yourself, they're just for you. And then others, you take them and you say, okay, how do I take what I'm feeling and put that with a story that resonates with, with the masses, or, with other listeners, and kind of bring people on that emotional journey with you. And, to me, that's the fascinating part, and what's, great to be able to do is be able to, take that emotion, take that story, and craft the song around it to where, 3.5 minutes, you can make someone else feel everything that you feel when you play it, when you wrote it, when you kind of had that cathartic experience for yourself in writing that song. And it's just, it's amazing to watch it come to life. And then when you get in the studio and listen to these, especially here in Nashville, these musicians bring it to life. It's jaw dropping what those guys are able to accomplish.
Oh, I can only imagine. My brother produced a commercial he wrote the lyrics to up in Kansas City, and I went with him that day to the recording studio and watched that whole thing go down. They bring in all the people that are going to play the instruments, the drums, the guitars, and everything else. And so it's, to make a 30-second commercial, I thought, years ago, if it's that entailed, how about these 3-4 minute songs like you said, and there's some of the best musicians in Nashville, and you guys work with some of the best, that it just makes you sound so good. And I'll tell you another thing in 30 seconds is what I get a lot of little snippets of, is that cool little app called TikTok that everybody's on, and I'm on it too. And I hear that song in 30 seconds, and I'll actually go to YouTube then and search out the whole song, and that's where I hear the full song. And then I reach back out to that artist or follow him on TikTok, and I've done several interviews from doing that with artists that I found on TikTok. So if they can, if you guys can sound that great in 30 or 60 seconds, I want to hear the whole thing too. So.
Yeah, TikTok is not something that I have mastered yet. At all. So
yeah.
It's on my list. I have a TikTok account, but I have not TikToked yet, if that's even what you
I'm
call it.
I'm still in the process of figuring it out too, and putting my face for radio on there. So I need to do more of that. But yeah, it's just a cool. Everybody's using it, and I just think it's a really neat thing, and I find a lot of great country music. Now, there's another thing that I want to ask you about the songwriting, and these 3 particular songs that we've got that we're going to play tonight that are fantastic. A lot of artists that I talk to have songs in the back burner or on the shelf that have been shelved for a number of years. Are these songs that have been that way and they're just brand new released, or are these songs that you just recently have come up with to put out there to radio and we were lucky to get them?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, because even even if you listen to mainstream country radio, some songs that have come out that are suddenly number one hits have been circulating around this town for, a decade. They weren't just written yesterday. But in this particular case, so we're going to listen to, I think, Stronger,
Yep.
Here I Go Again. Both of those songs have been written within the last couple of years. Stronger is actually the newest song. So those are both relatively new. Here I Go Again was kind of written during the whole pandemic lockdown that everybody kind of went through. But I Don't Want to Think About You Now, which is the new song that actually released today, I actually wrote it with a friend of mine, Kyle Lee. It's the only one of the three that is co-written. But that song we wrote when I moved here. So it was actually the first co-write session I really had when I moved to Nashville. So that song is about 10 years old.
Wow.
It's just kind of been there that whole time. And I was like, you know what? It's a great song. I want to get it out there. So I was like, hey, Kyle, do you care if I, roll it out there? And he's like, go ahead. So, to your point, yeah, sometimes these songs, you hear them come out on the radio, whether it's a major artist, indie artist, but that song may have been written a whole lot longer ago than you think, for a lot of different reasons. And you'd be surprised the number of songs that were almost recorded by someone else over those years.
Yep.
And just, never made it, all the way through the process. And then suddenly you hear, an artist sing it on the radio, and it's a number one hit. It's a very interesting business.
Yeah. And, I was just getting ready we reschedule it because he had a gig the other night, but I'm going to interview a buddy of mine by the name of Flint Thompson, and he was talking about Paul Overstreet wrote his latest single. And Paul Overstreet had some hits back in the day, in the 90s as well, I believe. And, but he wrote more hits for other folks than he actually had for himself. And he's just a great songwriter. And
absolutely. So, Chris Stapleton's, I think, another example of that. Somebody that as an artist, relatively, new in the scheme of things, but has been, cranking out amazing music and writing songs for other people for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so, it's just funny how that works out. Suddenly someone hits a vein, a string of songs, and just overnight it changes. And to the general public, they just arrived, but they've been around making, fantastic music for years and years.
Yep. And your new song that you sent me today on Spotify, when I heard 30 seconds or a minute of it, I was like, whoa. I've been doing this for 10 years. I was telling you off the air, and I hear a lot of music, and I am super impressed with that one. I'm saving it for last for myself because I want to put my headphones back on and hear the whole thing. We're talking on the phone, and I got you through the speaker system, but it is amazing. So, well done, and I'm glad to get it, and we can get you on Triple Play Thursday now and play 3 in a row for you, too.
Yeah, we finally got 3. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And there's more coming.
Awesome.
But I'm glad you finally got 3 at least.
Well, the people are going to be impressed by your talent, so I'm going to push play on one. The first one is called Stronger. Just a one-word title. Kind of tell us about it.
Yeah, so, Stronger is, a bit of a dark song for lack of a better word, but, kind of the thought and the process behind it is, sometimes people just find themselves in tough situations, and they deal with and process those situations the best that they can. And it's, one thing I say about the song is it is never intended to suggest that, drinking or any type of substance abuse is a substitute for processing your feelings and emotions in a healthy way. But sometimes that's where people find themselves, and that's just the reality of life. And so the song is intended to just kind of portray that story, that emotion, and kind of to make people stop and think that, when you see people in those situations, sometimes they really are doing the best they can to hold it together. Mm-hmm. And just kind of give music to that sort of life situation.
Man, I love that, because I was just telling my wife today, I've got about 4,600 friends because of radio on Facebook and social media, and you always see posts about something going on in their lives that you don't ever realize until you read that, and you're like, wow, I didn't know this was that, and you're a cancer survivor too. We talked about that for just a moment from several years ago, and I didn't realize that about you either, but a lot of friends like that post those type of things, and you just never know what their situation is.
Sure, yeah. So, and mine actually goes way back. So, I actually had a retinoblastoma, so cancer of the eye, when I was a small child. So I was 2 and a half. So I lost my right eye at that age. Fortunately, by way of cancer stories, I was very, very fortunate in that that's all that happened. I lost the eye at that age, but the reality is when it happens to you at that age, it's much easier to adapt than when something like that happens to you as an adult. Yes. I don't really remember what it was like to have two eyes, which is, it's just everyday life for me. Yeah. But I do think that kind of that process, there were certain things that to protect the other eye, that sort of thing. I didn't do contact sports, things like that. But that whole kind of arc allowed me to focus on music, because it was something that I could do. That was a low risk activity. So something that I, like I said, kind of done from a very, very, very early age. But yeah, I've been super fortunate. I've been cancer free for, gosh, this is gonna tell on my age, but for 38 years now. So never had any issues since then. So incredibly blessed that's the case. But yeah, that's kind of the story there.
That is awesome, because you and me have that in common, and I had forgotten about that. You told me that in an email, and I lost my right eye at a very young age, not to cancer, but it was a freak accident that happened, and I was being a stupid kid, and I have wore a prosthetic eye since the age of 12 for 47 years, so I'm showing my age there. And yeah, I don't know really. I don't remember much of what it's like to see with two eyes, just like you. It was at such a young age that happened. And my doctor that did my surgeries brought me a book that inspired me, because, and again, to show my age, if you remember the actor Sammy Davis Jr. and comedian, and he sang, and he was part of the Rat Pack with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra and those guys. And then Sandy Duncan, the actress Sandy Duncan, had one eye. So Sammy Davis Jr. and Sandy Duncan, and he gave me a book to read about them, and they use their experience of some freak accidents that inspired people, and I hope I do that to other people as well. My wife says, I don't know how you drive like you do at night with one eye, so, there's that. So, yeah, we have that in common. That is a great story. Well, we're going to play...
I remember you telling that story on one of your interviews,
Yep, we're going to play the song Stronger, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more. We got Jason Black with us tonight on Today's Country from KICR. Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on New Music Friday.
He spent 18 years on the wrong side of a losing hand, did his best to play the cards that fate had dealt to him. But tonight, for the first time, he's thinking he might fall, 'cause the chips are down and there's no ace in the hole. Pour me something stronger, 'cause I can't wash it away with water in my whiskey. Pour me something more to tame my sorrow. Drown it out like there ain't no tomorrow. Leave the tap open, 'cause I know I can't go home. She'd give anything to take back every single word. 'Cause it's the ones who we regret that just can't be unheard. In one hand there's a shackle, and in the other there's a key. Oh, nothing but the memories in between. Pour me something stronger, 'cause I can't wash it away with water in my whiskey. Pour me something more to tame my sorrow. Drown it out like there ain't no tomorrow. Leave the tap open, 'cause I know I can't go home. Home is where we must face what it means when we break those promises when we swore we never would. And we find it easier to taste the bitterness and to shake those demons we would lay down if we could. Pour me something stronger, 'cause I can't wash it away with water in my whiskey. Pour me something more to tame my sorrow. Drown it out like there ain't no tomorrow. Leave the tap open, 'cause I know I can't go home. Pour me something stronger. Stronger.
That is a hit song right there. It is called Stronger, right here on KICR Indie Country Radio's New Music Friday. We got two more we're going to play for you tonight, and everybody's loving the first one in the live chat room, so that's good stuff. You get instant great feedback.
Awesome. I very much appreciate it.
Yeah, they're loving your vocals, and so do I. That's a God-given talent, you know. I know that as well as you know that, you know. But like I said, you don't sound like anybody else currently that I've ever heard on country radio, and I've been doing this for a long time. So you got that going for you.
Yeah, it's you know, I've always been told, kind of you know, sometimes I think when I sing other people's stuff, which I don't really do much of, but I can be a little bit of a chameleon. But when I sing my own stuff, you know, it's just kind of my normal how I sound.
Yeah.
It's definitely something. Gosh, I had a vocal injury probably 6-7 years ago now, and I could not make a sound for probably a year and a half. I could talk. It was kind of a weak talk, but I could talk. But attempting to sing, you know, I could not make a sound whatsoever. And you know, talk about frustrating when you're somebody that there's not a day in my life up until that point that I hadn't sung a song. To suddenly not be able to is you don't take it for granted once you kind of figure out how to get that back. And that was very much a process to get back there. So to be able to do this again and lay down some songs is pretty special.
Man, I can only imagine being a radio guy like myself too, and using your voice every week on this program. And I haven't had one in a couple of years, but every time about this time of year in November, December, when the weather really starts changing and getting cold, I would get a sinus infection and lose my voice, and that's bad enough. So I can't imagine what you go through, wanting to get out there, and then it's more than a week or two that it lasts for something like you had, sounds like, and not be able to do what you're passionate about. I would hate that too.
Lots of loud conversations inside your head.
Right, exactly. and for me, they wouldn't involve headphones, and that would be a terrible thing. So I'm ready to put my headphones on and listen to the rest of this show. We got some good music ahead tonight. Well, Jason, it has been a pleasure to have you on the program. Don't be a stranger. Come back anytime. And for right now, where can folks find you on social media? I know you're on Spotify. You sent me that link today, but I'll let you tell it where they can find
so
you.
You can actually, the best place to get to all of them, you can website, so jasonblackofficial.com. There'll be links there to Spotify, Apple Music, all the play outlets, but then also there'll be links to Facebook, or you can find me there at JB The Music. You can find me on Instagram at JB The Music as well.
That is awesome, man. There's a comment in my chat room that God has plans for you. You got your voice back, and you are using it for good, man. And we sure do appreciate the music. The fans are going to love these other two songs, and we're getting ready to play them. And don't be a stranger. Let's come back and get you on that Triple Play Thursday show if you want to do another interview sometime. I'd be glad to do it.
That sounds fantastic, Tim. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time tonight.
Absolutely. And if I don't talk to you before the holidays, next week is Thanksgiving. Have a great Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas if we don't talk to you before.
You as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about Here I Go Again. Now, I know this song from the 80s. I think Whitesnake did it, but you got a different version. You got a different.
Yes. Yeah, it is a little bit different. So Here I Go Again, actually started during kind of the pandemic lockdown. Just kind of the thought of, gosh, when people finally get back out into the world, it's like people aren't going to know how to react. But then it kind of turned. That was the original thought. But then kind of as you get older, you become much more aware of kind of loss in your circle, and people losing spouses, significant others, at an age when you're kind of too old to feel like you want to go on a first date again, but too young to feel like that part of your life is over. And so Here I Go Again is just really about starting over in life and love long after you ever thought that you would have to, and kind of what it feels like to go through that. Remembering everything, how it felt before, and knowing that putting yourself out there again can sometimes mean heartache again. But just, taking a deep breath and saying, hey, for better, for worse, here we go. We're gonna pick up the pieces and try it again. So that's kind of the thought and kind of the story that Here I Go Again is meant to tell.
Man, that's a lot better the story and version than the one I have for myself personally, because every time I have to clock in and go to this other gig that's called work, I'm saying, here I go again.
Here I go again.
Not in a good way. So I like yours a whole lot better. Yeah, absolutely. His name is Jason Black, and I appreciate your time tonight, sir. You have a great weekend, and we're definitely going to see you on the radio a whole lot more.
Thanks so much, Tim.
Here I Go Again on Today's Country with Tim Kelly, KICR Indie Country Radio's New Music Friday.
It's been a while since I've been out on this town. I don't recognize any faces in this crowd, and so I'm glad that you walked in and broke the ice, 'cause I was scared to death and trying to hide. I don't wanna fall in love tonight, but something in your eyes tells me maybe I just might. I don't wanna break this heart, but baby, I know all the signs. And this is how it is when it begins. Oh, heaven help me, here I go again. Yeah, I used to come here, used to know my name, but that was years ago. Everything has changed except the way I felt when you walked in. I felt this way before and swore never again. I don't wanna fall in love tonight. Something in your eyes tells me maybe I just might. I don't wanna break this heart, but baby, I know all the signs. And this is how it is when it begins. Oh, heaven help me, here I go again. We live, we love, we fall, we break, lose the strength to even try, but life somehow it has a way. And even broken hearts survive. I don't wanna fall in love tonight, but something in your eyes tells me maybe I just might. I don't wanna break this heart, but baby, I know all the signs. And this is how it is when it begins. Oh, heaven help me, here I go again. Here I go again. No, I don't wanna break this heart, but baby, I know all the signs. This is how it is when it begins. Oh, heaven help me, here I go again.
Another hour of the best in new country starts now on Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
I've been sitting here alone, staring at the phone for 3 days, wanting you to call, anything at all to see your face. If only for a few short rings, I swear that'd be enough for me to know that I'm still on your mind. But I don't wanna think about you now. Don't wanna keep holding on to how we used to be. Every kiss, every touch, everything I miss so much. I'm learning how to live without, so I don't wanna think about you now. I know it's been a while, but baby, you know how I still hope. There's a part of you, like a part of me, that can't let go. But if this really is the end and we're not meant to make amends, maybe it's best if we lay this to rest. So I don't wanna think about you now. Don't wanna keep holding on to how we used to be. Every kiss, every touch, everything I miss so much. I'm learning how to live without. So I don't want to think about you. Now that we both agreed to both move on, I finally see giving up so easily was easy to regret. And everything I've come to miss, I didn't think about back then. Now I can't help but remember, and I'm dying to forget. I don't want to think about you now. Don't want to keep holding on to how we used to be. Every kiss, every touch, everything I miss so much. I'm learning how to live without. So I don't want to think about you now. I don't want to think about you now.
That is a brand new single from Jason Black. It is called I Don't Want to Think About You Now. Boy, I had that one sent to me today through Spotify, and I had to get the MP3 to that to play it on tonight's show. What a great way to kick off hour number 2 of Today's Country with yours truly, Tim Kelly, KICR Indie Country Radio. Add a .com to that, and you'll find us live on our website every Thursday and Friday night from Branson, Missouri. We hit the airwaves at 7 p.m. Central Time and go till 10 p.m. Central. And another great radio interview is coming up here in about 15 or 16 minutes with Chad Bushnell. So stay tuned for that as well. I want to thank Jason Black for being with me tonight, though, and sending over some great country music. We talked about ballads, too, off the air, and I am a big fan of the ballads, and he loves to make them. So keep doing your thing, my friend, and I will definitely keep playing them. Well, here's a brand new band that I want to play for you right now. They are called Whiskey, Cash, and Roses, and the title of the song is called Hey Little Rosie on Today's Country from KICR Indie Country Radio, playing new country's best on New Music Friday.
I've seen pictures, I've heard enough. I know it probably won't take long to fall in love. Change my clothes at least 6 times with nervous hands and butterflies. Here I am lost in those pretty brown eyes. Daddy's girl with bouncing curls, I'm wrapped up tight around she twirls. I'd give her anything and she knows it. Storytelling on my lap, one more time, piggyback. Now we're snuggling in a pocket full of posies. Hey little Rosie. I didn't have her first, I didn't pick her name, but if I'd had a choice, well, I'd have picked her just the same. And when the skies turn gray, she's my sunshine. When she puts her little fingers around mine. Daddy's girl with bouncing curls, I'm wrapped up tighter as she twirls. I'd give her anything and she knows it. Storytelling on my lap, one more time, piggyback. Now it's snuggling in a pocket full of posies. Hey little Rosie. She's daddy's girl with bouncing curls, I'm wrapped up tighter as she twirls. I'd give her anything and she she knows it. Yeah, storytelling on my lap. One more time, piggyback. Now it's scuttling and a pocket full of posies. Yes, the kisses, crayon snaps, and would you hold me? Hey, little Rosie. Hey, my little Rosie. I've seen pictures, I've heard enough. I know it probably won't take long to fall in love.
Great country tunes on the radio.
Get it?
Today's country.
Country lives right here. Country is what we do.
Today's country. More of today's new country now.
I love the music.
You're listening to KICR Indie Country Radio, syndicated worldwide, playing new country's best.
Now this is my kind of country. New country. New country. New country.
It's always been good at holding a cold beer. It held the barrel of a gun steady on a 10-point deer. It knows its way around a 12-fret neck, and it can land a good punch when I'm seeing red. But the best thing about it now is something I used to only dream about. Till the right one came along and changed my whole world. I got down on one knee, asked, do you wanna be mine forever, girl? You can bet I say yes, even though I could barely catch my breath. Now the best thing about my left hand is a ring on it from the right man. He's the kind of man who makes it understood. You don't have to dull your shine just to make him feel good. Yeah, he said this rock is the shiniest thing that he could find next to me. Yeah, the right one came along and changed my whole world. Got down on one knee, asked, do you wanna be mine forever, girl? You can bet I say yes, even though I could barely catch my breath. Now the best thing about my left hand is a ring on it from the right man. Oh, now me and my left hand shine a little brighter 'cause of a good man. Yeah, the right one came along and changed my whole world. Got down on one knee, asked, do you wanna be mine forever, girl? You can bet I say yes, even though I could barely catch my breath. Now the best thing about my left hand is a ring on it from the right man. From the right man.
You can check out the latest video to My Left Hand from Megan Patrick on ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com, and you just heard it live on KICR Indie Country Radio. Megan is spelled M-E-G-H-A-N, Miss Megan Patrick, and My Left Hand. My right hand is running the music right now. I got a mouse in it, and it's moving all over the place trying to find more of New Country's best, and boy, it doesn't have a hard time finding the music. It's just deciding which one to play. That is the hardest part of doing this show. So much great new country music and talent out there. It is just amazing. Blows my mind every time I get in here and do a show. But let's blow your mind again. How about the next one from Adam Sanders? His latest single is called Maybe We Should Just Sleep on It on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on New Music Friday.
I got a nifty feeling when that moving van pulled up. It got a whole lot emptier as I watched them fill that truck. And when they carried out your clothes, it took my breath away. And now they're headed for that bay, but all the keys are running through my head. Maybe we should just sleep on it tonight and give our hearts just one more chance to change our minds. Yeah, I could be wrong, but goodbye just don't feel right. So maybe we should just sleep on it tonight. I'll pay them boys to stop right now and leave that truck out on the curb. The TV and the phone's packed up, so we won't be disturbed. There's not a light left in this room, just the shadow of a doubt. So let's make sure we don't give up before we've thought this through enough. Maybe we should just sleep on it tonight and give our hearts just one more chance to change our minds. Yeah, I could be wrong, but goodbye just don't feel right. So maybe we should just sleep on it tonight. Yeah, maybe we should just sleep on it tonight and give our hearts just one more chance to change our minds. Yeah, I could be wrong, but goodbye just don't feel right. So maybe, yeah, maybe we should just sleep on it tonight. Yeah.
Number one for today's country. New music discovery. Now.
I still remember the night in July when you pulled me in close for a kiss goodbye. Had to turn and walk away so you didn't see the tears in my eyes. You left me questions in my heart, left me wondering why I fell so hard. Why'd you have to go so fast and go so far? Do you question what could have been? Do you question what we should have been? Is it all the time or every now and then? Do you wanna take that 3-mile drive straight to my house in the back of your mind? Did you not think that interstate would change the plans that we have made? I guess it's hard to hear a heartbreak 600 miles away. I still go down that road that goes down by your house to see if maybe he came back to town. But you're never there, it's just a dead end turn around. Do you still think about me? Wonder about that space between us. Did it put the brakes on what could have been? Do you question what we should have been? Is it all the time or every now and then? Do you wanna take that 3-mile drive straight to my house in the back of your mind? Did you not think that interstate would change the plans that we made? I guess it's hard to hear a heartbreak 600 miles away. About me, wondering about that space between us. It put the brakes on what could have been. Do you question what we should have been? Is it all the time or every now and then? Do you wanna take that 3-mile drive straight to my house in the back of your mind? Did you not think that interstate would change the plans that we had made? I guess it's hard to hear a heartbreak 600 miles away.
That is the latest single from my good friend Presley Tennant. It is called 600 Miles. It is the debut to her latest album that she has out, and she was on Team Kelly of NBC's The Voice. She's an alumni artist from there, but she's doing great things in the world of country music. Miss Presley Tennant. Go check her out. And by the way, we booked an interview today with Presley. Upcoming, it will be our second one. It's going to be December the 1st. We're going to hit the airwaves at 7 p.m. Central Time, and Presley will call into the program at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That is on our live interview schedules on our website, KICR And Presley Tennant is amazing, and she works with some amazing folks from Core PR Management. So I want to give a big shout out to them, because the artist that I'm about to talk to right now also works with them. His name is Chad Bushnell. How are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing great. Thanks for calling in and doing the radio interview tonight. We sure do appreciate it, and I'm excited to play 2 of your songs in a row tonight, too.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. You work with our good friends at Core PR, and I was just telling you real quick before we got on the air that I've been working with them, I think, since about 2014. We went to Country Radio Seminar in the hotel right across from the Bridgestone Theater. We were upstairs atop the escalator, and I brought the artist interviews up there because we had a real good internet connection up there, and you need that to do internet radio, so it worked out great. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, hopefully we'll meet you there one day in Nashville, and you're absolutely doing some great things in country music too. I love what you got going on, and reading your bio, you hold to country music Christian standards. I love that, and I love the great country gospel music that's out there too, and I get a lot of that and play it on the radio. So that's good stuff. Now, you're from Red Bluff, California, is that right?
Yeah.
Where's that abouts in California? I lived in San Diego, Escondido area for 4 years down in Southern California.
Yeah. Well, we're about 10 hours north of San Diego.
You're what?
So So we're about 10 hours north of San Diego.
Oh, 10 hours north. I was going to say 10 miles. No, 10 hours. Okay, you broke up there just a little bit. So, yeah, that's a drive. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're about an hour and a half from the Oregon border, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably getting snow already out there, too, then, huh?
Not us, no. We don't really get any snow.
Is that right? Okay.
No.
I'm looking at the East Coast, and they moved the Buffalo Bills game to Detroit because they're getting 5 feet of snow. So, good thing you're not in New York, too.
Yeah, no. No. We get a lot of wind, but not so much snow.
Well, we've had two little flurries last night, but we've had about a couple of inches of snow about 3 or 4 nights ago. And I'm in Branson, Missouri, by the way, right in the middle of the country. So it's great to make the connection with you, man, and I appreciate you doing this for us tonight.
That's on my bucket list to go visit Branson. I haven't got to go there yet. So.
We're going to try to help you with that. We're trying to get some theaters to book and play the artists that we're playing on the radio. So if anybody else, including myself, wants to help us out with that, let's do it. We're ready to rock this thing and get you guys to Branson, because I really believe that it is number 2 to Nashville in the world of country music. Back in the day, Buck Owens, Roy Clark had a theater here. You know, him and Buck Owens had that show Hee Haw in back in the 70s for years. I used to watch it as a kid. Glenn Campbell had a theater here. Mickey Gilley, he just recently passed away, but his theater is still here in Branson, and lots of people go to the shows that they're putting on there too. So. You've opened for a lot of cool people in the world of country music. People like Dwight Yoakam, Chris Christopherson, Neil McCoy. I have met him a couple of times. Billy Currington, Mark Wills, Colin Ray, Mark Chestnut. He was one of the first concerts I ever went to. Jared Neiman, Exile, many others over the years. So that's awesome stuff.
Yeah. No, it's been great. I mean, that's, I think playing out here a lot, I've just gotten a lot of those opportunities, and through the rodeos and different concert promoters, and now it's been blessed with getting open for a lot of my country music heroes. So it's been great.
That is awesome. I love the independent artists and their music, and to see their careers take off and blossom, and I think yours is going to do that as well. You're working with some good folks, and Core PR really helps promote you guys like crazy. But artists like, I'll just bring out a name who just recently won a couple of CMA awards, a guy by the name of Cody Johnson. You've probably heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was the first and still the only independent artist to sell out NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas as an independent artist. And stations like ours that you're on tonight started helping him get radio airplay, and it just took off. But, yeah, super talented guy, and you're well on your way as well. The folks are going to love your music that we're going to play tonight.
Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Cody's awesome. I'm a big fan too, and Cody's music's great. He did really well. My sister actually got to go to the CMAs and attend that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I get the chance to go someday.
And that can happen really fast. I've said that on this program before, that there was a young lady a few years ago sitting across the street watching the CMAs in a bar in Nashville on TV. And then the next year, she's the new female artist of the year, and her name's Maren Morris. So you've probably heard of her too. But yeah, it just in 1 year's time, you go from sitting across the street watching it on TV to being up on that stage. And a few years ago, I know that Chris Stapleton probably wore out the bottom of soles of his boots from going up there nine times or so in one show. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's awesome too.
Yeah, absolutely. You've also performed with current stars like Lee Brice. He got married here in Branson about 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep, he got married in Branson, Missouri to his wife, and then Aaron Watson, I know who he is, and Scotty McCreery. He's got a great hit song on his hands called Damn Straight right now that my buddy Trent Tomlinson wrote for him, and he's from Kennett, Missouri, Trent Tomlinson, so he's a great singer-songwriter that I have actually met too. So you're in some good company. You're in some good company. Yeah. Yeah, Trent is awesome.
Thank you.
I got to hang out on his tour bus. He did a sand bass festival in Madill, Oklahoma when I was living down there, close to where Blake Shelton's from in Tishomingo and Ada. And we got to hang out on his tour bus, and Trent is a really super guy and awesome, talented too.
Yeah, no, actually, I briefly met him at Whiskey Jam one time.
There you go.
I got to talk to him for a second, but I've always been a big fan of Trent. So,
Yep. Wrote.
We have a mutual friend too.
yeah. Wrote In Case You Didn't Know for Brett Young. I remember that song being all over radio when it first came out, so that's good stuff. How did you get started in country music? Kind of tell us your journey and where you got your start and who you maybe listened to growing up on the radio.
Yeah, so pretty young age, I was, that's my dad played and sang, and my grandma, my aunt and uncles, they all sang and played, and in different bands and stuff. And so I just, at a really young age, I was just really, amazed by it. I was always, I had my guitar and was always doing stuff, and messing around. I got to sing the national anthem at a lot of different events, growing up. And kind of when I was, around 12, 13, I started trying to enter talent shows. And I entered a few, and finally won one when I was about 15, and I met some people through that, and I kept singing the anthem, and just playing local shows, and finally a local promoter saw me somewhere, and I sang the national anthem at a PBR here in Red Bluff, and then from there it led to me opening for James Otto. That was my first opening slot when I was 18.
Nice. At
the local fair, and then from there, I just kept kind of was like, wow, okay, I actually want to do this. And so, we started contacting other promoters. When I was about 20, I ended up with That's Entertainment, and they started booking me, a little bit bigger shows and kind of more bars, casinos, and basically kind of just did it that way, just from the ground up. And I made a lot of trips to Nashville, and so that's basically kind of how I've done it.
That is awesome. And you've got a background as a rancher too, as I'm looking at your bio, and your wife, Chelsea, she's an accomplished roper and rodeo athlete. You're standing in the picture that I'm looking at on your website, reading your bio, you're standing in a big wheat field with your guitar and some big old silos behind you, some wheat silos, and you look like a cowboy, man. So you were built for country music, I think.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And and I'm sure the support of your wife and family, if you have kids, is something that's huge to you as well, to have her on your side in this world of country music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, it's great. No, I've got very good family support, and my wife and everybody. It's it's great. Couldn't do it without them. So
yeah, absolutely. And we mentioned in the opening the Christian background that you have. You're actually got a song called "What Would Jesus Do?" that's #1 right now on the Christian Country Music Weekly charts. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
You're hanging out with George Strait, it says, and Lauren Elena up there on the charts. Man, that's some good company too.
It was cool. Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yep, that's awesome. Yeah. You've also performed in a number of contests. You kind of mentioned some of the festivals and things that you've performed in. But now, we play a lot of artists that have been on these talent competitions like NBC's The Voice. I played Presley Tennant right before your song. She was on Team Kelly of The Voice. And I play a lot of the artists that were on Team Blake because they're the country ones. And they don't necessarily maybe even win that competition, but that doesn't stop them. They keep going, and it probably even fuels you guys more. Have you ever thought about doing anything like that, or have you tried out for The Voice, American Idol, or Talent, or any of those?
Yeah, the only one I have tried out was The Voice, and I got close one year, but I just didn't quite, I didn't quite make the cut. But I just don't know if I was what they were looking for, but I know that they had interest because they invited me down for, some auditions in LA, and I got moved to the next phase, and I didn't quite get on the blind auditions, but, at least I got close, so it made me feel good. But no, I never did try American Idol or America's Got Talent. I did the American Country Star. That was good in 2014, and yeah.
That's awesome. You mentioned blind auditions. I'm going to tell you something kind of funny here that I just thought of. Your last name is Bushnell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bushnell makes binoculars. Maybe they need a pair of Bushnell binoculars when you do the blind audition so they can see better talent like you, huh?
There you go. I like that.
I think that's what they need.
Yeah, I need to look into that. Maybe we're related somehow.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Sponsor.
You got a sponsorship deal coming right there. But, it amazes me, too, that a lot of times in those blind auditions, they're not turning their chairs. And I'm even looking at Blake Shelton going, why is he not pushing the button, because I was just telling the previous artist, and I don't know if you're on this little app called TikTok, but I love those little 30-second snippets, but it makes me want to go research you guys on YouTube and other formats to hear the whole song, because if you're that good in 30 seconds, man, you got my attention. I'm going to go get the whole thing and play it on the radio.
Yeah.
That's just how it works around here.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, it's been a part-time job trying to figure that out lately,
Yeah.
I got to say that.
Oh, I'm same way, and I told the previous artist that too. I got to put my face for radio out there a lot more on TikTok and try to get people to come and listen to the kind of music that we play, because this show, I call it New Music Friday. It is different every week. I find new music or have it sent to me on a weekly basis that I haven't even played before, and I've been doing this show for 10 years. So there is so much talent out there. It just blows my mind. And it's good to have you on the program, too, as part of that talent. Let me tell you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we talk about songwriting a lot on this program, and I want to ask you that question. The 2 songs that I'm playing tonight, did you write both of them, or are you really big into songwriting? Most artists are.
Yeah, no, I mostly like to write, everything I put out, but no, I did write Falling in Love with You by myself, and then I ended up getting Ain't Much Changed from one of my songwriting heroes, and I have a little story about that, how I ended up with Ain't Much Changed, but
okay, well, we're going to play Falling in Love with You here first, but yeah, tell us about this song, and we'll put it out there.
Yeah, so no, I wrote this, basically because I have a new album coming out in March. I was trying to think of what kind of songs I wanted to put on it, and I had a day where I didn't have to go to work, and I'm like, I'm going to sit here, and I decided to write a love song. And so I've been listening to, one of my favorite albums is the Josh Turner Firecracker album. Ever since high school, I always, thought that was a great album. And so I started strumming, and it just kind of came to me, and, I wrote about my wife, and it just kind of came to me, really.
Yeah.
And even one thing, too, I wrote it the best I could, got it the best I could get it, and Aaron Watson's producer actually helped produce the final, song. So
that's awesome.
That's the story behind that.
Yeah, good company. And I'll tell you what, Core PR sends me these in the emails, and I had never heard of you before, and this was the first song that I ever heard. So I was falling in love with it in about 30 seconds. It's great. So I knew that there would be more coming from you through Core PR, and you got a brand new single that was just released today. Is that right?
Yeah, Fall in Love with You. Yeah, it's released today.
That's it. Just released today. So yeah, I had heard this one previously. They kind of let me have early reign on some of these. Now some of the artists and some of the promoters, they want you to hold off until release day. But I have already played this a couple of times on my show, so we're gonna play it again.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. Glad to do it for you. His name is Chad Bushnell. This is called Falling in Love with You on today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on New Music Friday. We'll be back and talk more tomorrow.
Never thought I'd find a girl so beautiful, make me get down on one knee and ask her to be my partner forever. Expensive diamond ring. Girl, there's something about you my eyes can only see. Lord above is saying you're the one for me. It's falling in love with you so easy, like eating apple pie or stealing candy from a baby. Been trying to play it cool like, yeah, baby. My heart knows you're driving me crazy, 'cause it's true. It's so easy falling in love with you. I've tried a lot of things in this crazy world, struck out a few times, Girl, when it comes to being your loving man, these things come so natural. Never thought I'd ever feel like this. Girl, you've got something my heart can't resist. It's falling in love with you so easy, like eating apple pie or stealing candy from a baby. I've been trying to play it cool like, yeah, baby. Deep down my heart knows you're driving me crazy, 'cause it's true.
That is called Falling in Love with You, and that is his latest single. It got released today, and we've got it. I've already early released that a couple of times on the program, so good stuff, and we're glad to have another one. I'm going to play it here in just a little bit as well. We were talking off the air a little bit. Where do you go to record your music? I know you said you go to Nashville. Let's give a big shout-out to that recording studio.
And yeah, Funhouse Studios, that's my place. My first time I went there, it's actually kind of fun. I got to tell a quick story. I got to make an appearance on the 700 Club, the TV show.
Yeah.
And because I know Branch and Dean from SSM Records, and I happen to be in town, and we have some friends, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing the next couple of days?" And I was like, I'm here, and I have a few things going on. So he said, "You want to come be my guest on the 700 Club show for my show?" And so that's how I got introduced to Funhouse Studios, and I kind of went in there and said, "This is pretty neat," and that's where I ended up recording a lot of my songs. So
wow, that is awesome. I'm looking at that right now in your bio, and you also won Contemporary Country Vocalist of the Year in 2020 at the Josie Music Awards. They just had those last month again for the 8th time, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And boy, isn't it good to be able to get back in front of people now that virus hopefully is pretty well over with. Branson was a ghost town during that year too, and the year before that we set a record in tourism of 8.5 million people coming through Branson. But it is sure good to be out in front of the folks and doing live shows again. I'm sure you're glad about that.
Oh man, yeah. This last summer has been the best summer I've had so far, and this next summer is already looking good. And, I love to be out performing and meeting new people, visiting new places, and I really hope to get to Missouri next year. Would be awesome. So.
Absolutely, we'll definitely help you with that, and your folks at Core PR and I can get together and we'll put our heads together and we'll find you some venues to play in here. There's a lot of there's more theater seats. I tell this all the time on the radio, but there's more theater seats in Branson than there are in Broadway in New York City.
Really?
So we have 56,000 seats here. Broadway only has 48,000.
Wow.
So there is a lot of places to play. It's the live show capital of the world. They call it that for a reason, and that's the reason. There's so many theater seats here and places to play. So, and Johnny Morse, you mentioned a PBR event that you played at. Johnny Morse, who owns Bass Pro Shops, and they're headquartered in Springfield, just about 40 minutes north of me. They have a brand new rodeo arena he just built, and Garth Brooks was there September 30th through October the 2nd. He did 3 shows in a row every night there, and it's called Timber Ridge. So look that one up. It's just south of Branson, and it seats about 50,000. It's an amp-style theater place, and Garth was there, and that's definitely something we can look into too, and we're doing that. So we're going to get you guys out there for sure.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Sounds good. Yeah, and now I want to talk just a little bit about what's in the bottom of your bio, and that's your personal life, the things that you love to do. In your younger years, it says you competed in rodeo both as a steer wrestler and a team roper. I know George Strait likes to do that kind of stuff. He likes to cut horses and all that too, so you got that in common with him. And you were very active in many other sports. Now, I'm a huge sports fan. I have a Patrick Mahomes tattoo on my left arm. I'm a Chiefs fan. So,
oh, wow.
What sports did you like to compete in?
Man, well, rodeo was my favorite, I gotta say. But, I really like baseball. I kind of thought baseball was probably the one sport besides rodeo that, was my favorite. I never did play football, but, I did baseball, basketball, even wrestling. And so... No, we were pretty involved in sports growing up, and then, mostly rodeo in my later high school years. And rodeo was great. I still team rope once in a while, but, the steer wrestling, it's pretty tough. You got to, I need, about another 50, 60 pounds, and, so.
I'm doing good if I can wrestle a T-bone steak on my plate. That's the only steer wrestling I do.
Yeah, no kidding. It was great. I just wasn't quite, I could get out and get it off and get a hold good, and then when I got there, they yanked me across the arena. So,
yeah.
But no, it was fun when I did it. But I know my sister, she's made a career out of rodeo, and so it's great watching her now. And
Yeah, that is awesome. I love to go watch those things too. We've got one here in the rodeo arena just north of where we live, and it's a lot of fun actually to go watch them do their thing and just practice. We used to go on one of our date nights when we were first dating. We did that, just go watch them practice and the barrel racing and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Now, you also have a head for business. You graduated with a degree in business marketing, and boy, I'll tell you, and you know this, country music's a business, isn't it? And So having a head for business don't hurt in this country music business either.
No, I grew up. My dad's a farrier, horseshoer, and so he's really, told me that he wanted me to learn how to shoe and get my bachelor degree, and so I stuck with that and did it. And then as soon as I got my degree, I really went full bore with my music. And it's helped a ton. I mean, in both the horseshoeing and the music business, having a good music background, and doing those 4 or 5 years of college has just really helped me be able to survive in the business world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, man, your music is fantastic. If you've got another single that you can pitch to us or have Core PR send over, I want to get you on the show that I do on Thursday nights called Triple Play Thursday, where I play 3 songs in a row. And even if it's your gospel song, I need to grab that one, What Would Jesus Do? I'd love to play that on the radio as well, so that could be your third one. And,
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
We'd love to do that for you. I don't know of anybody else in radio that does 3 songs in a row from every artist all so long, and I love doing that because it really shows the versatility of you guys, And the previous artist I just got through interviewing, he loves ballads just like I do, and he makes some great ones. But at the same time, in another song, you might do an upbeat or song that they can get out on the dance floor and 2-step too. So I like to show that variety in one program. It's really neat.
Oh, that's great.
So, I'll be glad to do that for you. Tell us, folks, Chad, where folks can reach you on social media. It's real simple. I've been looking at your website the whole time, but I'll let you tell it.
Yeah, so Facebook, Chad Bushnell Official, and Instagram and TikTok is Chad Bushnell Music. YouTube and Twitter, I guess, actually is Bushnell Chad.
Uh-huh.
And then my website's chadbushnell.com. So pretty much if you type Chad Bushnell in on Google, all that stuff will come up. But yeah, give me a follow on TikTok and Instagram. That would be awesome. And all my music's on, all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon. And so, yeah, check it out.
That is awesome. We definitely will, and I'm going to keep playing your music, man. You're awesome, and I love spending time with you tonight. Don't be a stranger. If you do come out with something new that you really want to promote, hit us up again, and let's do this in a few months, and maybe we'll see you after the holidays. And I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving next Thursday. We're not going to do a live show next Thursday, but we are going to do next Friday. And by the way, if you have any Christmas music that you want to send over, we're going to start playing that next Friday, a week from tonight, in the show as well. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, we'll definitely do that for you. Let's talk about real quick this second song that I'm going to play called Ain't Much Changed. What's this one about?
Yeah, it's kind of a sad country song about a guy that misses his wife. And I basically, like I said, I like to write most of the songs I put out and record, but I met Brian White, if you've heard of him, singer-songwriter from back in Nashville, the songwriter Brian White. So Brian's written a bunch of hit songs, and I got to perform with him at a songwriter night here in Sacramento, California. And so I talked to him, and the next trip to Nashville, he was a little busy and wasn't able to write with me. And so I asked him, hey, could you pitch me some songs? I'd sure appreciate it. And he pitched me about 8 or 10 songs, and the second I heard this, I said, "Wow, I got to record this one." And so I did, and we sort of redid it. How the original version he came out with was, but no, it's been one of my favorite songs that I've got to release, and I'm really excited about it. So.
That is awesome. And for those of you who don't remember Brian White, and I forget a lot of the times that he works with Core PR Management, but he did a great song with Shania Twain, a duet, From This Moment On, years ago, and a buddy of mine said that was the song that they played at their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, super talented guy. Excellent songwriter as well. So, yeah, you're in good company, brother.
Well, thank you.
Definitely. Keep doing your thing, and hit us up again if you want to come back, and we would love to have you on the program. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you having me, and it's been great.
Oh, absolutely. His name is Chad Bushnell. If you didn't get that, this is called Ain't Much Changed on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country best on this New Music Friday.
Still can't roll that passenger window down. That D in Home Depot still burned out. Can't stop life going by too fast. Friday work, Sunday church, then Monday's back. Still put my jeans on one leg at a time. Still drink a few beers every night, and that damn dog barking next door still keeps me awake. That picture of you still sits by my bed, right by a book I still haven't read, except for the way I seem to miss you more every day. Ain't much changed. My old high school buddy still talking about Wednesday. Dad'll never quit driving that old Delta 88. I got a set of dead strings on my guitar. Can't quit writing songs about broken hearts. Still put my jeans on one leg at a time. Still drink a few beers every night, and that damn dog barking next door still keeps me awake. That picture of you still sits by my bed, right by that book I still haven't read, except for the way I seem to miss you more every day. Ain't much changed. I guess I should go and head on back home. Wish I was talking to you instead of this stone. That picture of you still sits by my bed, right by that book I still haven't read, except for the way I seem to miss you more every day. Ain't much changed. Ain't much changed. No, baby, ain't much changed.
Another hour of the best in new country starts now. On Indie Country Radio, New Country's best.
I've got one more thing to say. Coming back round here today, want the best decision I've made since you left. Now I know you're gone for good. I don't blame you, even though I should. I got one more thing to say before I'm done. 'Cause baby, you had your chance, but your chance is good as gone. You took this old boy's broken heart, put it in a song. So I took that money from the ring I got, sent this record all the way to the top. And if you're thinking about calling, don't even bother. Oh, and my new girl's even hotter. Ain't it funny how life works out? Just last week I was having my doubts if I'd even make rent or pay my bills on time. Now I'm living redneck cloud nine, a big new boat, my own brand of shine. I got one more thing to say before I'm done. 'Cause baby, you had your chance, but you I took that money from the ring I got, sent this record all the way to the top. And if you're thinking about calling, don't even bother. Oh, and my new girl's even hotter. You took all those things for granted when I never let you down. Now I'm singing these songs and making folks grin out here on this town. 'Cause baby, you had your chance, but your chance is good as gone. You took this old boy's broken heart, put it in a song. So I took that money from the ring I got, sent this record all the way to the top. And if you're thinking about calling, don't even bother. Oh, and my new girl's even hotter. I know now you're gone for good, and I blame you just as I should. And I got nothing left to say, but I'm gone.
My good friend Gregory Russell, lead singer for Brothers Carolina, right there in a great tune called One More Thing. Well, one more thing. Welcome to hour number 3 of Today's Country with yours truly, Tim Kelly, hosting the show, KICR, Indie Country Radio's New Music Friday. We hope you're enjoying the program. I just wrapped up another great radio interview and made a new friend by a guy by the name of Chad Bushnell. Go check him out, ladies and gentlemen. He is super talented and a real good all-around guy and a cowboy for you ladies if you like cowboys, and who doesn't? We love those as well. And great country music on the radio. This next song is making its radio debut tonight on the program. His name is Craig Henry. It is called Way Back When on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on New Music Friday.
A little John Deere, little cold beer, that's what it's like living around here. I'm plowing hard ground till the sun's down, get up in the morning, go another round. It sure feels nice to be back where I belong, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to find out if the rain don't fall, then the corn don't grow, the bass don't bite, the river don't flow, and a dirt road don't mean nothing without a truck bed full of friends. There's no home-cooked meals without mama in the kitchen, a small-town dream without a young boy wishing he could leave the only place he's ever been. And that was me, way back when. Everybody knows where everybody goes, a rockin' little joint where cold beer flows on the right side of 29, where a blue-collar paycheck will last all night. It sure feels nice to be back where I belong, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to find out if the rain don't fall and the corn don't grow, the bass don't bite, if the river don't flow, and a dirt road don't mean nothing without a truck bed full of friends. There's no home-cooked meals without mama in the kitchen, a small-town dream without a young boy wishing he could leave the only place he's ever been. And that was me, way back when. And when I finally got out of this town, all it took was coming back around. And if the rain don't fall, then the corn don't grow. The bass don't bite if the river don't flow. And a dirt road don't mean nothing without a truck bed full of friends. There's no home-cooked meals without mama in the kitchen. A small-town dream without a young boy wishing he could leave the only place he's ever been. And that was me. And that was me. Way back when. Way back when.
Great country tunes on the radio.
Get it? Today's country.
I love absolutely every single song they play. This station is dangerously good.
This is Today's Country.
I like the music. I like the DJs.
There's even more to like.
I like everything about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
More of today's new country now.
I love the music.
You're listening to KICR Indie Country Radio, syndicated worldwide, playing new country's best.
Now this is my kind of country. New country. New country. New country.
Hey, whiskey, green eyes, you're lonely, looks like mine. Is that seat taken? Mind if I take it? Order up another one of what you're drinking. We can talk about it, but just pretend you ain't here 'cause of her, I ain't here 'cause of him. We both got a couple names we could cheers to, wasted years to, so baby here's to getting back in the saddle, putting boots in the gravel, leaving her memory in an old dust cloud, ditching this, missing him, merry-go-round. Baby, whatever we say, we've been drinking and we ain't trying to ride off into a red sunset. Nah, this is just you and me trying to forget, getting back in the saddle. Another double shot for the pain, little hold you in the dark for the heartbreak. Ain't nothing a tequila slow dance can't fix. Your hands, my hips, all night like this. Getting back in the saddle, putting boots in the gravel, leaving her memory in an old dust cloud, ditching this, missing him, merry-go-round. Baby, whatever we say, we've been drinking and we ain't trying to ride off into a red sunset. Nah, this is just you and me trying to forget, getting back in the saddle. We both got a couple names we could cheers to, wasted years to, so baby here's to getting back in the saddle, putting boots in the gravel, leaving her memory in an old dust cloud, ditching this, missing him, merry-go-round. Baby, whatever we say, we've been drinking and we ain't trying to ride off into a red sunset. Nah, this is just you and me trying to forget, getting back in the saddle. It don't mean we're getting over it. We're getting back in the saddle, getting back in the saddle.
That is the latest single from Ashley Cook. If you're looking her up, Ashley Cook, Cook has an E on the end of it, so there's that. So just a reminder when you're checking her out. And her latest single, it is called Back in the Saddle. Well, it's great to be back in this radio saddle tonight with you on New Music Friday. And we talked about roping and wrestling steers and all that in the interview with Chad Bushnell tonight. If you missed both interviews and you're just now getting tuned in, don't worry about it. You didn't miss a thing. Everything is live when we do it live. live, but it is also recorded, and it is available for replay on our website, KICR IndieCountryRadio.com. And a big shout out again to all of the syndicated stations and our affiliates that replay the program on their stations as well. We sure do appreciate it. This next group has a video to the next song that I'm going to play that you can check out on our TV channel, ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. They are Cotter Hill. It is Cotter. Cotter Hill. This is called Before I Met You. On today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, playing new country's best on New Music Friday.
I used to run around this old town, finding anywhere to lay my head down, with any girl that got me high to help me forget the night. I used to drink away every heartbreak, drown in regret from all those mistakes, and spend every dollar I ever made. And every night I pray and wonder if I'd find you someday. Before I met you, I was running from the lonely and beating my fist against the wall. Before I met you, I was burning down slowly. I had no one left to call. Never thought I could ever live with someone other than myself. Thought I'd never see through my selfish ways. Oh, that was before I met you. I was always hung over on love. Every girl I turned to, I couldn't give up. It was a hard lesson I couldn't learn. I never thought I'd ever see the sober side of love. Before I met you, I was running from the lonely, beating my fist against the wall. Before I met you, I was burning down slowly. I had no one left to call. Never thought I could ever live with someone other than myself. Thought I'd never see through my selfish ways. Oh, that was before I met you. And every night I pray and wonder if I'd find you someday. Before I met you, I was running from the lonely, beating my fist against the wall. Before I met you, I was burning down slowly. I had no one left to call. I never thought I could ever live with someone other than myself. Thought I'd never see through my selfish ways. Oh, that was before I met you. Before I met you. Before I met
you. New country sounds like this.
I'd rather drink a hot beer, build a fire in the pouring rain, burn all of my fishing gear, then set sail in a hurricane.
And this.
I don't wanna be a good time girl, arm around my shoulder, shutting down your favorite bar.
And this.
99 Halo couldn't take you away.
You're listening to the best in new country music on KICR Indie Country Radio.
From the hills of Carolina to the streets of LA, you'll find us country girls rocking our own way. We've got our own style, we've got our own groove. When 9 to 5's done, it's time to cut loose. When country girls rock, it's a physical distraction. When country girls rock, check this awesome attraction. Moving, grooving, sliding, scooting, got the cowboys all a hootin'. do it, son. Hearts filled with pride, born with rhythm and soul. If you're looking for a good time, we'll tell you where to go. We're gonna rock the country. Come on, girls. Rock the country. Country girls rock. We're gonna rock the country. Hey, hey, hey. Rock the country. Country girls rock. We'll show you what we got. Country girls rock. It's a physical distraction when country girls rock. Check this awesome attraction. Moving, grooving, sliding, scooting. Got the cowboys all a rootin'. When country girls rock.
I had a great radio interview last night with that country girl, and she does rock. She's my good friend Tiana Woods from Canada. And I'll tell you what, that is a hit song right there, written by my good friend Mr. David Wagner, just north of where I'm broadcasting live from in Branson, Missouri. He is from Springfield, Missouri, and great talented songwriter, and writes for Tiana and a lot of other fine folks, and co-writes with a lot of fine folks that are all good friends with yours truly. So it's a great relationship here at the radio station. But go get her latest single, Tiana Woods. It is called Country Girls Rock. If you missed the interview last night, it is available on our website as well, KICR IndieCountryRadio.com. How about the country girls of country music? Aren't they awesome? Lots of great talent out there, including this next artist. We met her when she was like 14 years old, hanging out with us at the Nashville Universal Awards at the Wild Horse Saloon in downtown Nashville. She has since battled leukemia and beat it for now. She is doing fantastic. I love this new single that she's got out. She is my good friend Ava Page. This is called If I Were You on KICR Indie Country Radio's New Music Friday.
If I were you, I'd drop it all and I'd throw on my shoes, tear down the road that God had everything to lose, 'cause you got everything to lose. If I were you, there'd be no second thought on what I'd say. Do anything to make goodbye go away, make you wanna stay. Show me things the million cracks across my heart. You could read my mind, see we're running out of time, and that I'm so close to letting go. If you were me, then you would know. But hey, that's just what I do. If I were you, if I were you, if I were you.
In a world, there was one man, Tim Kelly, and there was only one radio station, Indie Country Radio.
I remember my favorite bike was a little tyke that she could fly. And that ragged old hat of mine when I was 9 was the Indians from 95. And those things never left my side. Oh, but today I couldn't find them if I tried. This old shirt is getting worn, the knees of these jeans are torn. This old back don't work the way it should. But of all these things that I wear in time, I search forever just to find something that always feels brand new. Though everything fades away, one day you'll see. You and I will never get old to me. At 12 I had my first kiss, that middle school bliss on the beach down in South Carolina. And in high school, where I met you, and at 17 I swore to make it mine. Well, I'll never forget that first slow dance, 'cause I still feel it every time I hold your hand. This old shirt is getting worn, the knees of these jeans are torn. This old back don't work the way it should. But of all these things that I wear in time, I search forever just to find something that always feels brand new. Though everything fades away, one day you'll see. You and I will never get old to me. Hair, you're sitting there, front porch in your rocking chair, sipping sweet tea, smiling at me, looking back on the times we shared. You said something about getting old, and I swore I had, but in case I haven't told you, this old shirt is getting warm. This old shirt is getting warm. The knees of these jeans are torn. This old back don't work the way it should. But of all these things that I wear in time, I search forever just to find something that always feels brand new. And as I'm standing here today, I hope you'll see that, baby, you will never get old to me.
His name is Dustin Kines, Kines, and that is a hit song right there called Old to Me. I love playing that one on the radio. Makes us sound really good, and you can hear why we call it New Country's Best. Go follow us over there on Twitter, and follow me on those accounts at Tim Kelly on Air, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. This next artist is also an alumni artist of NBC's The Voice. He also was on Kelly Clarkson's team, and he's got a brand new single out called B For You. And that is exactly how it is. It is the letter B, the number 4, and the letter U. That's how you're going to find the song. His name is Jay Coote on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, playing New Country's Best on New Music Friday.
Close calls and almost maybes, they all made me who I am. Before you, I was sure that I was living, didn't know what I was missing, till I got to be your man. I thought I knew what good love looked like, so sure I was doing just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swore I thought I knew. Before you, the sky was blue, but it wasn't blue. My heart beat, but it wasn't beating the way it is right now. If I'm wrapped up in your arms, I ain't ever coming down. So sure I was doing it right, but I had it all wrong. I thought I knew how forever feels, but I was just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swore I thought I knew before you. You're the missing piece I never knew I needed. Sure I was doing it right, but I had it all wrong. I thought I knew how forever feels, but I was just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swore I thought I knew before you.
New country sounds like this.
Hey moon, I'm giving it all that I got. Hey moon, I'm down to my last shot.
And this.
Felt like living and I felt like dying. Whoa, come on back to me.
And this.
Hey pretty boy, you were pretty sure it was gonna work out for you.
You're listening to the best in new country music on KICR, Indie Country Radio.
I'm sitting over here, you're sitting over there, spinning our wheels, not getting nowhere. Fussing and fighting, slinging this mud, a long way from where I wish I was. Stuck in the middle of your heart, in the middle of your head, in between your two arms, in the bed of your truck, in the middle of nowhere. Boy, I wanna go where field needs a big old moon. Sure beats this old living room. I wanna go back and I wanna go now. I wanna get lost and I wanna get found. Stuck in the middle of a kiss, in the middle of love, in the moment I wish would never end. In the middle of nowhere, boy, I wanna go where my mind's stuck. In the middle of your heart, in the middle of your head, and between your two arms in the bed of your truck. In the middle of nowhere, boy, I wanna go where my mind's stuck. Don't know how I got here, stuck. Think it's time to shift gears, stuck. This ain't you and me. Don't you know I'd rather be stuck in the middle of your heart, in the middle of your head, in between your two arms in the bed of your truck. In the middle of nowhere, boy, I wanna go where my mind's stuck. I'm sitting over here, you're sitting over there. Stuck.
Thanks for being stuck with me tonight. I sure do appreciate it. The music's been pretty good, hasn't it? That song is from Ariel Hutchins, good friend of mine, and written by Dean Dillon, who wrote like a bunch of hits for a guy named George Strait. That is called Stuck, and you can check out the video to Stuck by Ariel Hutchins on ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. More young female talent. 2 weeks ago tonight, I interviewed this young lady. Her name is Isabel Gray from Nashville, Tennessee, and this is called Like You on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on New Music Friday.
Never thought a good old boy like you would ever catch my eye. To drop a line backwards kind like you would be my type. Who knew there was another drive around town with nothing to do but wear out a mixtape of Chris LeDoux like you. Like you. You never thought you'd find someone like you. Wanna love that lasts forever like I do. The one who makes all my dreams come true. 'Cause no one can love like you and me, leaving little notes on the windshield. There's no one else can make me admit it's something real. In the past, gave all I had, never got nothing back. Someone who can stand by me and be my other half like you. You never thought you'd find someone like you. Wants a love that lasts forever like I do. The one who makes all my dreams come true. 'Cause no one can love like you. Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you. Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you. Like you. You never thought you'd find someone like you. Want a love that lasts forever like I do. Whoa, like you. You never thought you'd find someone like you. Want a love that lasts forever like I do. The one who makes all my dreams come true. 'Cause no one can love like you. Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you. Like you, like you, like you, like you, like you. Ooh. 'Cause no one can love like you.
Number one for today's country. New music discovery. Now.
just a couple crazy kids in love. That's where this story starts. We weren't afraid of nothing, 'cause we didn't have a clue. Some stick-on tiles and a coat of paint, and we turned that house into a home. It wasn't built in a day, didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wrongs and rights. I did a lot of hanging on when I wanted to let go. Took a lot of years and tears and prayers, but now we know that home wasn't built in a day. The numbers on the mailbox ain't the only thing that changed when you handed me that test and then a book of baby names. It wouldn't be the last time I'd see that glow again. After 2 turned into 3, turned into 4, turned into 10, and filled our home. It wasn't built in a day, didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wrongs and rights. You did a lot of hanging on when you wanted to let go. Took a lot of years and tears and prayers, but now we know that home wasn't built in a day. The days were long, but the years flew by. These pictures on the wall show me why. The story of you and I, it wasn't built in a day, didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of ups and downs, a lot of wrongs and rights. We did a lot of hanging on when we wanted to let go. It took a lot of years and tears and prayers, but now we know that home wasn't built in a day. It wasn't built in a day.
He was the winner of season number 18 of NBC's The Voice. That is called Home Wasn't Built in a Day, and the artist is Todd Tilghman. So there's a G and an H in there. Not Tillman, it is Todd Tilghman if you want to look him up. But you can check out the video to Home Wasn't Built in a Day on our TV channel, ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. Up next is a great group by the name of Waylon Stone. This is called Ain't Done Yet. I'll agree with that. I got a few more songs to play on Today's Country from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on New Music Friday.
Still got a little bit of moonlight hanging up in the sky. Still got a quarter tank of gas and a few more roads to drive. That 12-pack, you might only have a few more left, but it ain't done yet. So what do you say we do something we ain't done yet? We can cross a couple of things off that you and me bucket list. Drop a dot on the map, kick your feet on the dash, and we'll see what happens next. So what do you say we do something we
exciting.
Broadcasted live from Spreaker.com and iHeartRadio.
Boy, there's something about this picture that don't seem quite right. Don't see no ring on your finger. Don't see no girl by your side. General, where you from? What's your story? Do you like city girls or country? I'm just asking for a friend who I know for a fact she's been trying to find a guy kinda just like you. Tell me what your name is again. I'm just asking for a friend, you see. I could have her here in a heartbeat. You'd be perfect together if you asked me. But then again, I'm just asking for a friend. Now if she tries to play it cool, it's just 'cause she's a little shy. She drives a truck and wears some boots that kinda look a lot like mine. Tell me, does it sound like your type? I'm just asking for a friend who I know for a fact she's been dying to find a guy kinda just like you. Tell me what your drink is again. I'm just asking for a friend, you see. I could have her here in a heartbeat. You'd be perfect together if you asked me. But then again, I'm just asking for a friend. If you could give me your number, then I mean you and her could go out sometime. And what you doing later tonight? I'm just asking for a friend, you see. I could have her here in a heartbeat. You'd be perfect together if you asked me. But then again, I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend.
They are a couple of matchmakers, it sounds like to me. Well, their harmonies are a perfect match. They are a married couple. They go by the name of Tim and Taylor, and that is called Asking for a Friend. They worked on that song for over a year, and it has a great video to it that you can check out on our TV channel, ICTV, IndieCountryTelevision.com. Up next is a young lady by the name of Kylie Morgan. This is called Good Hands. You're in good hands musically with yours truly on KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on New Music Friday.
No, he ain't perfect, but hell, who is? There ain't nothing that's broken that he couldn't fix. He taught me what to fight for and when to not give a damn. Yeah, I'm the proud daughter of a blue-collar Superman. I'm in good hands when he's holding on to mine. I know who I am when I look in his eyes, and he only sees the best in me, even when it's hard to find. He's a good man. you'll grow to love him, because I do. And I know you're only worried 'cause he's just like you. It taught me what I'm worth, and I'd never settle for any less. When we dance at night in the kitchen, I believe him when he says I'm in good hands. When he's holding on to mine, I know who I am. When I look in his eyes, and he only sees the best in me, even when it's hard to find. He's a good man. I'm in good hands. You taught me to believe that God hears me when I pray. So even when I'm scared, no, I ain't afraid. 'Cause I'm in good hands. When he's holding on to mine, I know who I am. 'Cause he laid down his life, and he only sees the best in me, even when it's hard to find. He's a good man. I'm in good hands. It's all a part of his plan. I'm in good hands.
You're listening to New Music Friday on KICR Indie Country Radio.
If you think I'm gonna be like all the others before you met me, those other clowns, I've gotta warn you now, I'm gonna let you down. If you're sure it's gonna fall apart and you're only waiting for me to break your heart, thinking that's what love's about, I'm gonna let you down. I'm gonna change your expectations. I'm gonna make a smile out of that frown. But if you're convinced I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna let you down. If you're suspecting that I'm only here to whisper sweet words in your ear just for tonight, I've gotta tell you now, I'm gonna let you down. I'm gonna change your expectations. I'm gonna make a smile out of that frown. But if you're convinced I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna let you down. I'm gonna change your expectations. I'm gonna make a smile out of that frown. But if you're convinced I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna let you down. But if you're convinced I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna let you down.
friend Lee Sims from the state of Colorado. That is called I'm Gonna Let You Down. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of New Music Friday. I'm going to let you down. I'm not going to be on the air next Thursday due to Thanksgiving. I'm going to be eating some turkey and watching some football like the rest of you are. But I want to thank Jason Black for joining me tonight and Chad Bushnell. We'll have more great interviews next week on New Music Friday. We'll hit the airwaves at 7 p.m. Central Time for Branson, Missouri, as usual. Today's Country with Tim Kelly is produced by Tim Kelly Productions. I say his name a lot, don't I? Like us there on Facebook, and we will like you right back. Until next time, next Friday, I will see you on the radio. Bye-bye, everybody.
I can put you in a cornfield in downtown Manhattan. Close your eyes and reel that old zip code. I can put you on a riverbank while you're fighting traffic. I'm a song, I'll see you on the radio. Turn me on and turn it up. I can make you smile, make you cry, turn back the pages of your life. Turn me on, I'll see you on the radio. I can take you back to high school, gym floor, and a slow dance. First love, first kiss, second base down that old dirt road. When it's freezing cold, I can sink your toes in warm white sand. I'm a song, I'll see you on the radio. Turn me on and turn it up. I can make you smile, make you cry, turn back the pages of your life. So turn me on, I'll see you on the radio. I'm young, I'm old, I'm country, I'm rock and roll.